Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined today with Slothy. Slothy, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty well, thanks. Getting real excited for Halloween tomorrow. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't get Halloween off, sadly. I'll be driving. So, what are you up to with the Halloween stuff?
I work during the day. I'm off around 3:30.
Okay.
Then I'm just going to go home and watch spooky movies, give candy out to kids.
There you go. That's not too bad. Always a nice time. We did some decorating this year for it and stuff, so I've got lots of cool decorations out, but I just won't be home to hand any candy out, sadly. Yeah, but no, I think I'm going to probably watch my spooky movies tonight, so same thing.
Nice.
I definitely, if anyone ever has any good horror suggestions, by the way, send them to me, because I do like seeing them. That being said, this deck's kind of the horror of chaos. So I played this on the stream. It'll be on one of the videos coming out soon. But this deck was really fun. It's a really, really cool deck. I think this is one of the Baldur's Gate commanders. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. There's been, everything is nonstop sets coming out, so there's no way to tell which is which, right?
Yeah.
But I lately have just really had a lot of fun playing Chaos decks. It's just what I enjoy the most. It's kind of scales with every table, right? It's a low power deck with a Chaos deck is still gonna play out a high power Chaos deck. There's a combo in this deck we'll get into later on in it. I made it so it doesn't go quite as infinite as it could, but it's good. The commander I'm talking about is Neera Wild Mage, and I just love this commander. First off, the artwork is really cool. Second off, it's got really, really weird stats. So it's 4, 1 blue, 1 red. For a 2/7 human elf shaman. So it's a lot of interesting tribes. No wizard on it, which would have given it a little something more, I think, but still really cool tribes overall.
Yeah.
This has, whenever you cast a spell, you may put it on the bottom of its owner's library. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Triggers only once each turn.
I didn't realize that was a May ability.
It is a May ability, yes. So it's all of the fun of possibility storming without the restriction of having to hit the next card of that type. And it doesn't stop me from casting like a counter spell if I want to counter something.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
So if there's something I specifically want to copy, I can. And it also triggers once each turn, not only once on my turns. So any instance I do, I can do this on other people's turns. And it will ignore the timing restrictions to cast it right then and there.
Nice.
As far as I'm aware. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it does, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would.
But I'm just going to pull up that exact ruling because I don't want to give people false information on it.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, so it will just cast it whenever. You have to have legal targets to cast it. And then the rule change is that it's received a minor update to its oral text to clarify its function. Specifically, if you choose not to cast the card, it'll be put on the bottom of your library along with the revealed cards. So you don't have to cast the spell if you don't want to. If you hit something that you don't want to cast, you don't have to, and it'll just go back to the bottom. You just whiff.
Okay.
Yeah. But as I said, I'm pretty sure it functions that way. I'm going off the assumption it does because that's how the rule text is. Anyways, this is just a really fun commander. It lets us anything, like we can, on anyone's turn, cast from anywhere. It's not cast from hand, it's just anything we cast can trigger this eruption of nonsense.
Yeah.
And I love it. So let's start right off into the artifact section, get it right out of the way. We've got an arcane signet. We need the ramp. It's 2 mana. Tap to add 1 mana of your commander's color identity. It's going to help us.
Yeah. Then we've got Firemind Vessel. 4 mana, enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it to add 2 mana of different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be one of my decks without a Howling Mind. That's my signature card for sure. 2 mana at the beginning of each player's draw step. If it's untapped, that player draws an additional card. I like it. It's going to refill our hands and let us continuously... We can run out of spells pretty quick in this deck.
Yeah.
So.
Then we've got Isochron Scepter. 2 mana, it's got imprint. When it comes into play, you may remove an instant card with mana value 2 or less from your hand from the game. It's imprinted on the scepter, and you can pay 2 and tap it to copy the imprinted instant and play the copy without paying its mana cost.
Yeah.
I didn't notice this was in here, so now I'm scared.
Yeah, so you can use that to trigger Neera.
True, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun that way. Isochron lets us constantly repeat something or be like, I'll put it on the bottom. It going to the bottom will just make it obviously not be on the bottom, but we'll still get to roulette our card.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got an Is It Lock It as well. 3 mana, it taps for blue or red, or it has the ability to pay 4 of either red or blue in any combination. Sack it, draw 2 cards.
Yeah. Then we've got the Is It Signet? 2 mana, you can pay 1, tap it to add a blue and a red.
This next one is technically also a land in the deck. But we have Primal Amulet. I'll read both sides of it. So, number 1, artifact. It's an artifact. Your instants and sorceries are 1 less to cast. That's really going to help us out. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, put a charge counter on it. Then if there's 4 or more counters, you may remove those counters. Neera is every time we cast, we can reveal till we get the next card and again cast it. So this is going to really, really speed up how fast this card flips over. It'll basically instantly flip in decks. It flips over to a land, which is Primal Wellspring, taps for 1 mana of any color. When it's used for an instant or sorcery, you copy that spell and choose new targets. It's awesome.
That's really good in this deck.
Yeah, right?
Then we've got Relic of Legends, 3 mana. You can tap it for 1 mana of any color. Or you can tap an untapped legendary creature you control to add 1 mana of any color.
Yeah.
It's pretty good seeing that you don't have to tap Neera for her ability.
Yeah, well, and also the fact that Neera is, it lets us keep her up as a blocker too. The 2/7 body on it is wild.
Yeah.
It's a lot. We've got Scroll Rack as well. Oh yeah, you were saying?
That's just really weird stats.
Really weird stats at 2/7. Like it's something that's not a 7 toughness isn't something you often see.
No.
Yeah, it can really take a beating. We have that Scroll Rack, so it's a 2 mana artifact. You pay 1, you exile any number of cards from your hand face down, put that many cards from the top of your library into your hand, then look at the exiled cards and put them on top of your library in any order. That's going to let us put anything from our hand back on top and pseudo-control what we are going to get with our chaotic roulette.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scroll Rack's really going to help out in this deck.
Mm-hmm. Then we got Soul Ring. 1 mana, tap it for 2.
Yeah.
It's something
never hurts
kind of expect.
We've also got Talisman of Creativity. Again, just more ramp. 2 mana, taps for colorless, or taps for 1 blue or red and deals 1 damage to you. 40 life format, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. I quite like the art on that one.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I don't think I've seen that yet.
I think that's from the Tyranids one.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what it's from, but it's cool. Oh, it might be from the Abaddon one, the Demons one.
Okay.
Yeah. The 40k artwork's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. Next up, we got the Magic Mirror. 6 triple blue for a legendary artifact. Costs 1 less to cast for each instant sorcery in your graveyard. You have no maximum hand size, and at the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror, then draw a card for each knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror.
Yeah, really is nice in this deck.
I've loved this card since Eldraine.
Yeah. It's being able to cascade into pseudo cascade into stuff like this is really, really fun too, especially if you don't know what's coming up. Like if you're just rolling away a talisman, because we've got lots of mana rocks in this deck, right? But yeah, there's always the chance that they're going to roll into something like the Magic Mirror, that we're going to get a 9 mana card off like a 2-drop.
Yeah, true.
Which I do love. And then, obviously, Chaos deck, we have Wand of Wonder. It's 3 in a red. It's an artifact, of course. 4 mana, tap it, roll a d20. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery. Then shuffles the rest of their library. You can cast up to X instant and sorceries from among them without paying their mana cost. If you roll 1 to 9, it's 1. 10 to 19 is 2. And 20 is 3. So the deck is about casting chaotic things. You can't not include this card. I put this card in a lot of decks right now. But it really, really is going to do what we want to do in this deck, which is just roll random chaotic things.
Yeah, it's such a good card.
Right? We'll do this creature section.
Sure.
And then we'll talk about this creature we'll do the creature section last. There's
creature section last?
Yeah. So we'll go over to enchantments. We'll start it off with Arcane Bombardment. This is a dumb card. This card gets out of hand.
Yeah.
It's 4 double red. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery each turn, exile an instant or sorcery at random from your graveyard. Then you copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment, and you can cast a number of copies without paying their mana cost.
Love it.
It can be a real problem.
Yeah.
Arcane Bombardment is a card that just can't stay on the field.
Mm.
And the fact that it doesn't force you to cast them, so you're not losing out if you have a card you don't want to cast, but we'll see when we get in the instants and sorceries. There's not many that we don't want to just cast for free constantly.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Next up, we've got Descent into Avernus, 2 in a red. At the beginning of your upkeep, put 2 Descent counters on Descent into Avernus, then each player creates X treasure tokens, and Descent into Avernus deals X damage to each player, where X is the number of Descent counters on Descent into Avernus.
I can't stop putting this in decks. It's so good. It gets the game going. It ramps the whole table. It kills the whole table.
See, this is the card that I will try to counter no matter what, just because I don't want to read how many times the card says Descent on it.
Descent, yeah.
This is my soul ring.
That's fair. This is if this just stays out for like if you cast it and it gets back to your turn twice, the fact that it's given everybody at that point 6 mana is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It really it pays for itself nearly in the first upkeep it's out. But if you count the group hug shenanigans and the ping the table for 8, then it really puts in work.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just in love with the card. It's one of my favorite cards that was printed for the year for sure. And I can't see myself stopping putting it in decks anytime soon. We also have Double Vision. 3 double red. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, copy it. You choose new targets for the copy. A lot of these, by the way, are each turn, not on our turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arcane Bombardment, Neera, Double Vision. Like, a lot of these just want to cast things on every turn. We want to get through as many of these as we can. And we got to remember that Neera's ability is casting them again that second time. Yeah. So with the Double Vision, if I cast a Brainstorm, I can still get my Brainstorm and have the copy of it, which is really nice. Or I can still get my Brainstorm and Roulette to my second one because I've got my copy. It's very, very nice. And then Arcane Bombardment will it'll exile an instant or sorcery at random. Then it's a lot. It's a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, I like this. Then we've got Eel Umbra, 1 in a blue. It's got flash, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has totem armor.
Yeah, I just like the fact that it does what we need. We can protect our commander. We can protect another important creature if we need. We can also roulette it away for 2 mana into something else if we are in a great place.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I like the utility Neera gives us. We've also got Future Sight, 2 triple blue. You play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play to the top card of your library. It's phenomenally fun to threaten the table by letting everyone see what's on top.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun.
I love this card so much.
The artwork is so cool on this, when you see it up close like this.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't usually look at it like that, but it's really, really cool artwork.
Yeah, then next up we got Soothsaying, single blue. You can pay 3 double blue to shuffle your library. Good way to get some of those spells that you're bottoming back.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pay X, look at the top X cards of your library and put them back in any order.
Yeah, again, just more top deck manipulation. Chaos is fun, but sometimes you got to control the chaos a little.
Yeah, so you still have to find what you need to win.
Yeah. The first version of this, I didn't really put anything in that I needed to win. If you look at that YouTube video, you'll see how I eventually win, and it doesn't feel good. But there's some wins in this now. So we've got Sunbird's Invocation as well, which is 5 in a red. Whenever you cast a spell from your hand, you reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is its CMC. Cast a spell with mana value X or less from among them without paying its cost. Put them onto the bottom in random order. Again, if I want to cast a Brainstorm, I can do my roulette first, and then after that, Sunbirds. Sunbirds is going to give you a lot of chances to see other things, but we're just doubling up on the free cast. We want to cast as much free as we can.
So I like it. And this next one is an absolute powerhouse card. Swarm Intelligence, 6 in a blue. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy that spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Well, take the next one too, then.
Oh, sure. 1,000 Year Storm, 4 blue and a red. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant sorcery spell you've cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copy.
So
it's
this
instant sorcery storm.
Yeah, well, this is really, really fun because, again, like I keep saying, Neera is a double cast trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So if I brainstorm and I roll into the next instant, or like I get an instant after that, Thousand Year Storm counts that one cost as two separate costs.
Okay.
So if I play two spells, I've got 4 storm count on Thousand Year Storm because of how Neera. Well, I guess Neera only triggers once a turn, but still, every time we're gonna get whatever we roll to has the potential of automatically being stormed off.
Nice.
Yeah, so 1,000 Year Storm is really, really going to do a lot of work in this deck. Land section, nothing crazy. I've got like the Dominaria tap land, the Molten Tributary enters tapped. I've been playing them as untapped lands. You can put it as a better one, but other than that, just basic Izzet stuff like Training Center, Temple of Epiphany. Actually, a really good card for that Scry ability.
Mm.
But nothing too crazy. Like just a normal land suite. I got 34 lands in it, which is higher than normal, but I don't have my normal ability to ramp, and I don't have get a lot of really high cost stuff. So
yeah, true.
Let's start with some of these things that we want to start copying and going off with. Let's do sorcery first.
Sure.
Blatant Thievery is our first sorcery. It's 4 triple blue for yeah, I know. For each opponent, gain control of target permanent that player controls. And as everyone has seen, we already have a lot of copy going on in this deck. A lot. Blatant Thievery is a pretty scumbag card to play, and it's really fun to get a cast off. But if you get like I've had a few games with this deck so far, 1 or 2 online, a few in person, and I've repeatedly gotten like 5+ copies of Blatant Thievery off, and it feels gross.
That you're a horrible person.
Oh yeah, you can take 5 people, like 5 lands from each player. It's because you got to remember it's not just for 1. And again, you can roll this off of like a 2-drop. You can be like, I'll Talisman of Creativity into Blatant Thievery.
Well, you could even opt into this too.
Yeah, you sure could.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, take the next one.
Yeah, speaking of gross, we've got Bribery. 3 double blue. Search target opponent's library for a creature card and put that card into play under your control. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Remember,
each of these can be arcane bombardmented.
I know that you've got a Blight Steel in your deck. I'm going to take that for 5 mana, thanks.
Well, or people's combo pieces, yeah.
Yeah, or combo pieces, I guess. Like Thassa's Oracle would be a good one, or Worldgorge Dragon.
Yeah, you can also like strip people's. Like I said, the ability to like just strip away their important things is really funny.
We should say that.
I took everyone's commander with it in a few games. No one likes it. No one likes Blatant Thievery. We've also got Clone Legion, another great card to cascade into if somebody's really going off and making a huge board state.
Yeah.
It's Clone Legion will put in a lot of work. It's 7 double blue. For each creature target player controls, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Again, every one of these cards in this deck is a problem if it gets stormed off. If you reveal into it early, it's a problem. But if I'm able to get copies of any of these things, it's not great.
Yeah, no. Then we've got Finale of Promise. X double red. You may cast up to 1 target instant card and or up to 1 target sorcery card from your graveyard, each with mana value X or less without paying the mana cost. If a card cast this way will be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. And if X is 10 or more, copy each of those spells twice. You may choose new targets for the copies.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah?
Really good. I think it might be the only X spell in the whole deck. There's one other one. So it's not often that we're going to miss with our free cast stuff. And again, we don't have to cast it with Neera's ability. There's a few that will force us. But Finale of Promise, I like all the Finale cards generally.
Yeah, the Finale cycle was pretty good.
The next card is actually phenomenally easy to kill people with in this deck.
Yeah, I imagine.
It's Grape Shot, yeah. It's 1 and a red, deals 1 damage to any target, and it itself has Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you roll into it already, it is all going to be at a minimum of 2.
Yeah.
Anything with Storm in this deck can really be a problem.
Then we've got Inevitable Betrayal. It's got Suspend 3 for 1 double blue. You search target opponent's library for a creature card and put that card onto the battlefield under your control, then that player shuffles.
Yeah.
This is another one. I really like the art for the day. Kind of reminds me of Tool.
Yeah, I really like the artwork too, but I don't know how I feel about the artwork in it, like for the card. It's cool artwork.
Yeah.
I don't know if it fits.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's odd for sure. I guess it's like kind of a throwback to the bribery with like the lamp. But anyways, what's fun about this is you don't have to wait to suspend if you cascade into it.
Yep, true.
Yeah, it's a nice time. It's
a
problem. We have Inspiring Refrain as well. 4 double blue, you draw 2 cards, exile with 3 time counters on it, and it has suspend of 2 and a blue. So this is going to be good in either situation. Early, we can get it suspended off and just get our card draw repeating engine rolling. Late, we're never going to be disincentivized to draw 2 cards. And the fact that it will keep repeating is very nice.
Yeah, I like that. Then we've got Ironcrag Feet, 1 triple red. You can add 7 red, and you can cast only 1 more spell this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of times it's, if you get copies, this is generally what I put into my 2X spells.
Yeah.
So, it works. We have Arenicus's Vile Duplication. It is 3 and a blue, and it's actually one that I want to take out of this deck. Neera's ability triggering 2 times is pretty good, but I think it's a little too much.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, it's still fun, but go read the table, read the room. I've found that I've been annoying sometimes when I'm playing this deck. So, Arenicus's Vile Duplication is 3 and a blue. You create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except the token has flying and isn't legendary if it is legendary. It's pretty good to double up your commander.
Yeah, it's definitely a very good card.
Yeah.
Speaking of very good cards, we got Jeska's Will, 2 and a red. Choose 1 if you control a commander. As you cast a spell, you may choose both. Add red for each card in target opponent's hand, or you can exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn.
Insane early ramp.
Absolutely, this is...
Yeah, it's very, very easy to hit a turn 2 Neera if you have this in like an opening hand, like if you have a Soul Ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like turn 1 red mana, Soul Ring, turn 2 blue mana, and your commander, with generally still a little bit of mana left over. It's it does a lot. Jeska's Will is a really good card. It's been pricey for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't realize how expensive it was. Like, I was able to pull a couple when Commander Legends came out. I didn't realize it was a $20 card now.
Oh, I got a bunch of them. I picked them up pretty early because I was like, these were amazing. I want them all. But
yeah, definitely.
The next one is Mnemonic Deluge, a great card to like cascade and roll into in this deck. Like it's going to put in a serious hurting on the table. 6 and triple blue. Exile target instant or sorcery from a graveyard, which is awesome if somebody's like anguished on making you or something or been annoying. Yeah. You copy it 3 times. You can cast a copy without paying their mana cost. Exile Mnemonic Deluge. Again, if I'm hitting my graveyard late game, this is again another chance to 3 more Blatant Thieveries, and then I can cast the copies, and the copies will continue as to storm. Like, let's say that this is our first card of the turn, and we've got a 1,000-Year Storm, okay?
Okay.
I cast like a 1 mana, I Eel Umbra into this Mnemonic Deluge, and I hit my Blatant Thievery. I've got the ability to, with 1,000-Year Storm out, my math is going to be annoying here on this, but with 1,000-Year Storm out, we've already cast a second spell. We have 2 Mnemonic Deluges. So resolving just the first one with Blatant Thievery, we have 3 casts. So the first cast will make us 3 Blatant Thieveries, up to 7 Blatant Thieveries, up to 13 or 12 Blatant Thieveries.
Yeah.
Just on our Mnemonic Deluge annoyance. And then we still get to hit something else in our graveyard as well. That would also continue to storm count to 6, 7, 8. Could you imagine hitting 8 Arenicus's Vile Duplication or something? It's a real issue. The deck is problematic. You might not make friends playing it, but you will have fun. I promise you that.
That's all that really matters, as long as you have fun.
Yeah, the deck has a really good balance of like nuts, like 9 plus mana cards, followed by the next one.
Yeah. Next up, we got Mystic Speculation. It's a single blue with buyback for 2, and you can scry 3.
Yeah, that scry is a problem. Anything that lets you reorganize or relook is really an issue, more so than normal. The game knowledge is already good in a normal day, but the deck is, I definitely overestimated the power level of the deck. I thought it was going to be significantly more casual and fun than it was.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, but it has been very fun for me. We've got Ponder as well. 1 blue mana, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle, draw a card. That's
pretty good.
A 1 mana draw, a 1 mana reorganize. Yeah, you can't go wrong with something like that.
And that's one of my favorite arts in the game too. So
which one? The Ponder?
Yeah.
It is. It's a really classy artwork.
Yeah, it's really classy. It's like, do you expect it? Like, it's very nice looking.
Yeah, and it illustrates what it does really good. It's got the 3 choices. I love it.
Yeah. Next up, we got Portent. Single blue, you can look at the top 3 cards of target player's library, then put them back in any order. Then you may have that player shuffle their library and draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
I like Portent almost as much or more as Ponder because, again, we can reorganize our top 3, but we don't have to do it in the same way. Ponder, we've got to put our second card down. We're kind of, we're kind of waiting to get to it a little bit, where Portent kind of does the same thing. It gives us a draw later on. We know what's coming up. Just that game knowledge is really, really going to help you out.
True, yeah.
You want this next one here?
Sure. So next up, we got Rousing Refrain, 3 double red. You can add red for each card in target's opponent's hand. Until end of turn, you don't lose mana as steps and phases end. Exile Rousing Refrain with 3 time counters on it, and it's got to spend 3 for 1 and a red.
Just a great card.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. I love all these ones that keep going.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's basically just half of a Jessica's Will later on.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Again, yeah, rolling into it isn't going to hurt us. The fact that it continues to go off is awesome.
Yeah.
And then we have Windfall. 2 and a blue. Each player discards their hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this turn. I forgot how to talk.
I miss Hull Breacher.
Yeah, Windfall is really fun. It does even look like it goes with Hull Breacher with the treasures.
Right?
It was a match made in heaven. Look at what they took from us.
What were you thinking, Wizards?
Yeah. But no, Windfall is really fun. I really like to just redraw like that. Mage the Wheel's great too. One of my favorite plays in all of Magic is if I go first and I have a Winds of Change in my hand, because it wrecks the game for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Everyone's so excited about the hand they kept, and then you throw it away. Yeah.
If you throw it away, ruin everybody's game, it's great, guys.
It's a great time. Leave me alone. Let's start into these instants here. Again, most of our sections are relatively cheapish. Like, this isn't a crazy expensive deck. It's like $300.
Yeah, that, and like with a lot of the
you can cut
you've got all the lands.
You can cut a ton of it down as well. Like, you don't have to have like a Jessica's Will, stuff like that. Like we've got 67 in sorcery, 57 in instant, 34 in creature, like 61 in artifact, and I bet most of it's like the scroll rack or something. Yeah, scroll rack's like 15. Like, you could definitely cut this down to an under $200 deck pretty quickly, I think. Yeah,
if you're willing to get rid of a little bit of the efficiency, absolutely.
Oh, not even so much the efficiency. Like, it's a bunch of these are just cards I'm trying to roll into. Like, none of them are really that great, I think. I don't know. Lots of them are just silly.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like Primal Amulet, you really don't need to copy spells as much as I'm doing. You could go a different route. So between Primal Amulet and Scroll Rack, like, you've gotten rid of like $30 of artifacts alone. It's pretty easy to cut down.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's jump into these instants here.
Sure. Well, first up, we got an offer you can't refuse. Single blue, counter target non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. I think speaking for both of us, this is one of the best cards printed this year.
I love it. I don't mind ramping the table a little bit. It feels a lot better than getting counterspelled.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you're playing something big like, what is it? Like Demonic Consultation.
Yep.
And that gets countered, you're not going to feel bad about giving them 2 treasure tokens instead of whatever they wanted.
I say it in every episode that I can. I love all the finale cards, and I love dumping like 20 mana into like Finale of Glory.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you can give me what, like 120 power or 2 treasures? I would take the 2 treasure deal 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a good one. We also have Boomerang. 2 blue, return target permanent to its owner's hand. That's great. It's, again, a real problem if you get a real storm count going and put everyone's lands back in their hand.
Yeah.
I got a real problem with hitting lands lately.
Yeah. Then we've got Brain Freeze. One in a blue. Target player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard, and it's got Storm.
Yeah.
This card, I love this card so much.
I do too. Storm is a fun mechanic. They never should have printed it.
Yeah.
We've got Chaos Warp. If you're looking at the deck list, this isn't the one I've got. It's the cool new full art, like red and white one. It looks very nice, but that's fine. I don't have the time to change all my versions. It's 2 in a red. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals cards from the top of their library. If it's permanent, they put it on the battlefield.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it. It does exactly what we're liking to do.
Yeah. Then we've got Electrickery. Red. Electrickery deals 1 damage to target creature you don't control, and it's got Overload for 1 in a red, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially against token decks.
Yeah. The ability to wipe them off the board so efficiently is great. And with its storm ability, with the storm ability in this deck, you're not really going to be hurt that badly by making this go off for 6. You know, your commander's so big that it can really survive a lot of damage. You could put a lot more sweeps into this deck and really, really have like good board control over it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I really, really like it. Speaking of cards I really like, I'm also finding myself putting this in a bunch of decks lately.
Such a good card.
Yeah, Elminster's Simulacrum. It's 4 double blue. For each opponent, you create a token that's a copy of up to 1 target creature they control. This is never going to not be fun to play.
Yeah, true.
Generally speaking, like, we're playing a format that is based around having a creature you like, and if you like it, why wouldn't I like it, right? Why wouldn't I want to have one?
Exactly.
You know? It's also,
sharing is caring.
It's also very, very nice if somebody's got, again, I play with monsters, just a bunch of animals, like you saw Brian's decks. But it's really fun to be able to hit people's Elesh Norns with this and make the rest of the table have -4/-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I like it.
Yeah. Speaking of great cards, $30 of the instant section is made up with this next one, and that is Flusterstorm. Single blue, counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1, and it's got Storm.
Didn't even realize half of my instant section is just Flusterstorm.
Yeah, makes sense. It's a phenomenal card.
There's, like I said, there's definitely, every time I build any deck, there's going to be lots of fun ways that you can build it. Like, my way's never going to be like specifically the best way. Like, it's the best way for how I like to play, and it's not even often the best way of that. You can hear me decide on things later on as I go, but it's a really, really fun deck, and like, you could definitely power it up if you put in like your Force of Wills, your Pact of Negations, any of those things. There's definitely there's definitely great ways to do those things, but I just I don't really go too hard into the counter. But it's got Storm. I'm playing Storm kind of things. You get me.
You don't like going too much into the counters. That's okay. Yeah, Brian and I'll make up for it for you.
Yeah, exactly. We've got Jaya's Greeting, 1 and a red, deals 3 damage to target creature, and scry 1. Again, just a great way to get something small off the board, top deck control.
Yeah. Then we've got Lightning Bolt, 1 red, deals 3 damage to any target.
Yeah. It's really fun to Lightning Bolt into like a Clone Legion.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it feels really good.
I've got the Hadouken version of this card.
That's a cool one.
From the Secret Lair, and still trying to figure out what deck I want to put it in because it's very pretty.
My favorite one of the Secret Lairs for that is the bear one, the bear with the lightning. It came in the 4 lightning bolt ones. I like that one, but I've got it in another annoying Is It Storm deck because it's fun to I know who I am. It's really fun to kill people with a lightning bolt in Commander is a task in and of itself, and it is really funny to be like, I will cast 900 lightning bolts. Responses.
That's 2,700 damage. I think that's a good game right there.
Yeah, that's in Veyran. Veyran's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Veyran sucks, but it's a good deck. We also have Magma Opus. I like so much from Strixhaven, but every part of this card, I like its utility. You can do stuff with it if it's stuck in your hand early game. It's an 8 mana card late game. Its artwork is beautiful, and it does a lot with it. So it's 6, 1 blue, 1 red. 4 damage divided among as you choose among any number of targets, which is, again, a great sweeper or a great, like, kill your 3/3, kill your Birds of Paradise. You tap 2 target permanents. Again, great answer. You make a 4/4 red and blue elemental creature token, you've got a new blocker, and you draw 2 cards. This is never going to feel bad to roll into.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
And if it's stuck in our hand early, we're kind of not having a great start. 1 blue and a red, or 1 blue and a red, so hybrid is it twice. You discard it and you create a treasure token. So it's, again, at its worst case, a form of early-ish ramp for us that we can do at any time. But if you hit it on a late game thing, it's really gonna do work.
Yeah. Then we've got Mission Briefing, double blue. You surveil 2, then choose an instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn, and if that card been put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
really cool about this. Number 1, top deck knowledge.
True.
Which is great. Number 2, we can actually be using this to, instead of casting the spell from the grave, to put it back into our deck.
Yeah.
Right? Like with Neera's ability. So it's a very nice way to get cards back into it, still possibly get a copy off of it with other things. Mm-hmm. But again, just more top deck control. If we, at a worst case, need something from the grave, it is really going to help us out. Again, maybe you've got like an early game and you want to hit a Jessica's Will back-to-back and just have a big explosive play.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I like that.
We have opt because we've got to. We really have to have it. 1, scry 1, draw a card. And it's gonna put in work.
Absolutely. Then we've got Refuse to Cooperate. The Refuse side costs 3 and a red. It deals damage to target spell's controller equals that spell's mana value. And then the Cooperate side, 2 and a blue. It's got Aftermath. You can cast a spell only from your graveyard, then exile it. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Yeah, I really like this.
Yeah, I really like this one a lot.
It's generally speaking, I've got a bunch of people that are like, oh, walking ballista for $1 million, and then I can refuse.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Yeah, someone going infinite and then trying to cast their infinite mana dump thing is funny with it.
Yeah, true.
We also have Reinterpret. It's 2, 1 blue, 1 red. You counter target spell. You can cast a spell with equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying its mana costs.
I really like this one.
Yeah, it's another way to get our. Again, I'm trying to get things out for cheap. I'm trying to be annoying. It's like I said, we've got weird counters in the deck.
Yeah, this is another really, really good card from Strixhaven too.
Is that one from Strixhaven? Is that what it's from?
It's from Commander 21, which is
Prismar. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder why I have so many of them then. I just pick up cards indiscriminately. I'm like, give me everyone you got.
Yeah, fair. Then we got Repeated Reverberation. 2 double red. When you next cast an instant spell or cast a sorcery spell or activate the loyalty ability this turn, I also forgot how to speak for a moment. Copy that spell or ability twice. You may choose new targets for the copies.
This is a problem if you've got anything copying this. So then your next thing copies 4 times. It's a big problem. It's Repeated Reverberation can really. Again, I just like to cast a lot of stupid things a lot of times. You can't fault me for it.
No. That's the nature of the format.
Yeah, we have Smelt, 1 mana, destroy target artifact in red, 1 red.
Yeah, pretty good.
Great to cascade with, great to wreck people's soul rings with.
You're a monster.
It's getting rid of people's artifacts early really does change the game.
That's true, yeah. It does put you ahead quite a lot. Then we've got Spark Jolt, single red, deals 1 damage to target creature or player, and scry 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
This is my second of 2 instants that are 2 cards in the deck that have X in them. Mm-hmm. And there's a real reason for it. Storm King's Thunder. It's X triple red. When you cast your next instant or sorcery, copy it X times. You can choose new targets for the copies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, because let's say that we've got 10 mana. Mm-hmm. Let's say 10 mana. And I'm going to put 8 of it into Storm King's Thunder. That means that the next time I cast a spell, it's going to copy 4 times.
Yeah.
And then I just 1 mana, I opt into Clone Legion. 5 Clone Legions. Is there many games you've seen where you can come back from 5 Clone Legions?
No.
Yeah, how about 5 briberies? You know what I mean? I'll take Any 5 cards from your deck, or 5 spread around on the table. Could you imagine? Version 1 of this deck had like Expropriates in it, Nexus of Fates. No, I understood what was going on. I had to calm that down a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the extra turn route and ability to get those high cost extra turn stuff off for so cheap would really make this commander above and beyond annoying.
Yeah, true.
I also just love the artwork on Storm King's Thunder. But yeah, it's again doing it's everything we want to be doing, and if you combine it with the chaos ability of just rolling to your next one, oh, it's good time.
Yeah, true. Then next up we've got Twinferno, 1 in our red. Choose one. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy, or a target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn.
I'm gonna be honest.
I assume it's for the first one.
Yeah, but we do have the ability to take other people's stuff, so.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
We could potentially be giving a field double strike. It's a really, really cool uncommon. Another great one of the year.
Yeah, I really like this.
And then another card I find myself putting in every deck that I can right now. Wild Magic Surge, double red. You destroy target permanent opponent controls, reveal cards from the top until they reveal a permanent that shares a type with it, put it onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom in a random order. I like this. It's the ability to get rid of anything problematic. From like a Gaia's Cradle all the way to like just an annoying Smothering Tats.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be things in any of our play groups that all of us don't like sitting on the board, that we don't want to see out. And this is a great response to any of them. The fact, again, if you've got like you're tutoring your play group is tutoring a Cabal Coffers, Urborg kind of situation, blowing Urborg up and making them cascade to the next land is rough. It's rough.
Yeah,
like it's pretty brutal. I really I love Wild Magic Surge, and it's a great card to get onto that Isochron Scepter that's earlier in the deck, because a lot of people probably by this point, 40 minutes into the episode or whatever it is, have forgotten that the majority of this instant section can go under that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I think there's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 20 that cannot go under it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like getting a Wild Magic Surge under it, a Twinferno, those are going to be really problematic. Having a Flusterstorm sit under it is just, again, nonsense. A Boomerang under it's just bad person stuff.
True.
Yeah, like the Isochron can really do a lot of work in this deck too. And yeah, I like my instant section a lot. I understand that you'd have a much more counter-friendly suite, but
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just fun to roll into. And now we get into like the final part of this deck. This deck is actually pretty close to even with like red and blue. I think there's a little more red mana.
Let's see. There's 37 red pips. There's 50 blue pips. 29 blue producers and 33 red producers in the deck.
Interesting.
So there's a little bit more blue pips, but I think that's mostly from like Mnemonic Deluge or Magic Mirror.
Yeah, trying to ward into those big, huge Blatant Fever,
Yeah, the ones with like triple pips, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Future Sight.
Yeah, true. Like I said, every time I've played this one a few times, it's worked out great every time, so this deck is reliable at least. Our creatures are annoying. First is Archmage Emeritus, 2 double blue, human wizard with Magecraft, 2/2. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, draw a card. That's turning nearly like everyone that we cascade into it. Because again, we've got some artifacts, but the majority of the deck's going to be instants and sorceries.
Yeah, true.
Like I think nearly half of the cards that we could roll into are an instant or sorcery, so we're going to be getting a lot of draws.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we've got Diluvian Primordial, 5 double blue for a 5/5 avatar with flying. When it enters the battlefield, for each opponent, you may cast up to 1 target instant or sorcery from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. If a spell cast this way will be put into a graveyard this turn, exile it instead.
Yes. We're going to skip the next one, come back to it. So we've got Hullbreaker Horror.
Perfect.
Yeah, Hullbreaker Horror. 5 double blue, Kraken Horror. It's got flash. It can't be countered, so you can get it out at any time, even if it's not Cascade, you can't counter it. Whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Return target permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. This is
such a good card.
This is stupid. First off, it's a good card in every deck, but every turn, anything you cast. Like, again, you can opt to bounce their spell back to hand. Then on your cascade, you still get your second spell that you cast and put like a non-land permanent, because you're getting 2 casts every time you Neera.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. And at least this one is non-land permanent, because everyone knows what I would be doing if it wasn't. Ooh, everyone knows. Those lands are going back to hand every time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Hullbreaker Horror is a really, really, like, it's a strong card in general. But in a deck like this where you're just casting so much, you have so many triggers of cast, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's something that can't stay on the field, but is going to be annoying. If it's going to be so hard to remove, because they can just they can bounce 2 spells every time. Like, how do you deal with that?
You don't.
Yeah, you play a removal spell. I opt to bounce it back to your hand. I draw my card. You try to play it again. I play something, cascade it, and put your commander back. It's annoying. Yeah.
Do you have the art for this next one?
Yep, this is the one that's in the deck. I did change this one specifically for that.
This next one is Malik Is It Paragon for blue and red for a 2/4 legendary weird wizard. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast the top card of your library if it's an instant or sorcery. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery from your library, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Right? I like it a lot. It's again, it's everything we want. We want our top deck knowledge. We want to cast instants of sorceries, and we want to copy them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome. I really like it. And again, another way to pseudo get the things that we're throwing away. If we have Wild Magic Surge on top, we cast it from the top and still use Neera's ability to go to the next one. We have a Wild Magic Surge. Wild Magic Surge. Why is it so hard to say? It's a tongue twister. Wild Magic Surge that we can still get off as well. I like it. Also, a Storm Kiln Artist, because
love this card.
They never should have printed this card. Again, when we were talking about the double strike, this is something you might put double strike on and just roll someone with it.
Yeah.
It's 3 and a red for a Dwarf Shaman 2/2. Gets 1/0 for each artifact you control, and whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, you get a treasure token. That's rough.
Yeah.
That's ramping you hard.
Yeah. This is actually one of like the 3 creatures that I run in my Vadric deck.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Right.
Next up, we've got the Reality Chip. 1 and a blue for legendary artifact creature equipment Jellyfish. It's a 0/4. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as the Reality Chip is attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. And it has Reconfigure for 2 and a blue.
Yeah. It's good. Again, it's lets us get those lands off the top. So better consistency with our actual, like, it smooths the deck out a lot.
Yeah, true.
But it also, again, gives us that much needed top deck knowledge. Because again, you really don't want to play something that's good. Like if you only have like a good card and had like a Wand of Wonder, you don't want to roll that into like a Flusterstorm that hits nothing.
No, exactly.
Right? So the next one is a card they shouldn't have printed at all. This card is one of the most degenerate cards, I believe, currently in Magic. And the artwork would say nothing about it. This is Displacer Kitten, and it's the last creature in the deck. It is 3 and a blue for a Cat Beast 2/2 with Avoidance. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. I love this card. There's a lot to go over with this, though.
Yep.
So, do you know how this functions?
I'd like to say yes.
Every time we cast something, we can put both triggers on the stack, both Neera and Displacer. So we blink. The blink is the first one that goes off, followed by the Neera. But that was the old Neera's ability that triggers. So the new Neera will see that we're casting a spell and let us cascade it again. So when we cast our second spell from the top, we repeat. Displacer Kitten blinks, Neera sees that new spell and allows us to do it. So, there's only, if you haven't cast any of the other creatures, there's only 6 cards in the deck that can interrupt you doing this.
Yeah.
And we have a Grape Shot in the deck.
Yeah.
So, there's a very good chance that we can repeat this 40 times and kill someone the first time we cast a spell with Displacer Kitten on the board.
Yeah.
As well, if we were able to cast through 40 spells, that is 120 mil with Brainstorm. Or Brain Freeze, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Displacer Kitten is gonna, it basically lets us go to whatever one we want. Again, we're only interrupting ourselves if we hit one of our 6 other creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And we just went over the creatures. Every one of those is a creature I still want in play.
Yeah, exactly.
But this essentially lets me hit. Displacer Kitten is a real problem in the deck. It lets you like portent into whatever cards you want nearly.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting the reality chip might suck.
Yeah, true.
But every other card, like, you know, if you hit like Melik again, even the reality chip, you can still like get going. Like none of these creatures aren't going to be good on the board. But can you imagine if like it's okay, sure, the thing that interrupts my Infinity Storm, because you can Infinity Storm with this if you just take the other creatures out and just run Displacer Kitten.
Yeah.
And there's other ways. There's lots of cards that are like exile till you get a creature, put that into play. There's lots of things you could do. So Displacer Kitten's not hard to get out if you want to be more degenerate. But can you imagine if like what interrupts it? It's like, oh man, I can't keep going. I got a Hullbreaker Horror. Yeah. This is
Damn it, I got an Archmage Emeritus. I can't keep going now.
Oh yeah, exactly. With the draws every time. Well, and that's the other thing, right? Is you don't have to cast them if you don't want to. But there's also like every time it's very easy for you to hit this 1,000-Year Storm.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Get the 1,000-Year Storm out and then storm off every one of these things that you cast. It's a problem. The deck is like a really, really fun deck to play.
Yeah.
The video that goes up, you can watch me try to do the math of Storm King's Thunder with Arcane Bombardment and like 6 Storm Triggers, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I think it's my, they're like, I think you just win. I'm like, yeah, I'll accept that.
Yeah.
It's
jeez.
This deck is considered between the it's considered under Slothy on EDH Rex score, and it's not at all. Yeah. Especially if you do the things I do where you're like constantly like, I'll Blatant Thievery all your lands. Oh man, it's fun. You'll get people to scoop with this deck for sure.
Terrible person.
Yeah, is it Storm decks tend to do that? But no, I found that Neera is just a phenomenally fun card to play around. There's nothing in this deck that I don't like hitting off of any of these roulettes, and I love nothing if not roulette. Like a lot of my favorite decks that I've ever built are about like this similar concept of like a Malcolm Breaches kind of thing where I'm playing your cards from the top. I love Atali where I play people's cards. Like I love chaos decks. They really just change the game, and they're a great equalizer in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's my deck. This is I call it Neera Wild Possibilities. It's what do you think of this one?
I really like it. Definitely going to be running a lot of like Conquerors, Flail, Silence, and Grand Abolish to make it as hard as possible to do a lot of those things and steal all my lands. But
oh yeah, if someone hits a like a Arcane Laboratory or something, this deck's in trouble. A damping sphere would hurt.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's
yeah. I really like this.
It's like I said, it's been a blast to play. It's really fun. I think this is going to go back into like I said, it's functioned a little higher power than I initially thought it would.
Yeah.
Obviously, being able to like eel Umbra into a Clone Legion, like I've said, is an issue. Like there's a lot of decks where we've seen like one player's out of control, and then suddenly I have all their tokens as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gross. But no, it's I really, really like it. Like, let me know how you guys like would have built something like this. I'm going to wrap it there. So I will let me know how you guys would have built it. Thank you so much for getting through the end of it. It's so fun. If you want to see how this deck functions, the first episode of last week's stream is this one. It'll be going on YouTube like Wednesday. I'll put it up Wednesday. Yeah, so Wednesday, check it out on YouTube. It's a really funny game for me, not so much for everyone else. But it's a good deck. I enjoy playing it a lot, and I think that any version of Neera is going to be fun. I think this is one of the more fun commanders of the year. Just that ability to cascade to anything. Possibility Storm's fun. I like it. And you get Possibility Storm without making your playgroup play Possibility Storm, which is nice.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but no, yeah, this has been my Neera deck. It's fun.
Yeah.
And let me know what you guys would have put into it, what you would have taken out of it. Would you have included this Displacer Kitten semi-combo, or would you have gone full out into it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening.
See you guys later.
Oh, also, yeah, check out Abyss Proxy Shop if you want to get any of these expensive cards. Promo code IT99. Abyss Proxy Shop is a great place, and they make really cool cards, especially with wizards. Basically saying proxies are okay. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done for real.